in women, you can't change someone. You shouldn't be like struggling to try to change someone. And guys as well. Like, should Christians date non-Christians? Well, I think really there's more to it than just that simple question. How does God feel about us being around unbelievers and having like deep friendship partnerships with them? Let's see what the Bible says right here. It says 1 Corinthians 15:33. That's a Corinthians, that's like a tongue twister. Do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals. Okay, Proverbs 13:20 says, whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companions of fools will suffer harm. The last one, 1 John 4:8, anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. Okay, so being a Christian, you know God, so you know what love is. Jesus died for us. He sacrificed for us on the cross to give us everlasting life and forgive us of our sins. So we understand what that selfless kind of love is. So if you're with someone and you're dating someone who doesn't understand what that is, first off, how could you love? Because the Bible says only those that know God really understand love, because the world teaches dating to be really like a selfish thing. You know, like you have to ask yourself, why are you with that person? And Proverbs says if you're with, bad company, it ruins your good morals. It ruins your place with God. So it's like if you take a rotten apple and you put it with a bunch of good apples, what happens to those apples? They spoil. And I think it's really that simple.
I really liked the verse 2 Corinthians 6:14. It says, don't team up with those who are unbelievers. So that means like in marriage and relationships. How can righteousness be a partner with wickedness? How can light live with darkness? And I think that really like says it all. So I think that when you're a follower of Christ and you're dating someone who's not, like it doesn't matter how strong of a Christian you are, they're always going to dim your light.
Mm-hmm.
And so like everything that you believe, all of your convictions, it'll just be that much harder with a non-Christian because they don't understand it. And as much as they could say that they love you, like if they're not following God and you are, they can't exactly love you the way that you know that you deserve to be loved, if that makes sense. Like Tommy was saying, like this our culture has made dating like a selfish thing, and in a dating relationship you have to be so selfless and you have to be so like we've talked in our other videos, like if you're not doing things before marriage, that takes a lot of like selflessness and like love
that a non-believer isn't going to do. Because they're going to think, well, like, and you have this like horny teenage boy and he's going to look at you and want to kiss you and do all these things, or vice versa, and they're not going to understand like why, and think about it. Like, say you love a basketball team, are you going to call up your friend who is like a math nerd? No, you're going to call up the person who's into sports and you're going to talk to them about it and be excited. So when you have that fire for God and you're trying to pursue him, because pursuing God is the way to eternal life. It's the way to happiness, real peace, real joy, not just pursuing money and fame and more followers on Instagram, stuff that it's going to be fleeting, because this life's over before you know it in a blink of an eye. But following real things, that's going to give you life. A non-believer is just not going to get that. And that's how your flame's dimmed out. Because when you're with someone who's excited about the same thing you are, it just makes you stronger, and you just grow together. And especially like us, every day we're reading our Bible, we're just trying the best. We're not perfect, but we mess up. But like, she'll correct me if I'm like, being harsh maybe with the children, or maybe I'm just having a bad attitude, or just something. Bad attitude. We say that to our little like 2-year-old all the time. Bad attitude, Thomas. But when I'm not like following God, she like corrects me in like a loving way, and I go, oh yeah, like I need to strive to do better. But we both have that same foundation, and we're both looking at the world from the same world view. So it's like it makes relationships, one, a lot easier just because you're on the same page. But two, we know what life's about, and we know what our purpose here is on earth. And when you're with someone who doesn't know their purpose, it makes it very hard. And you have to ask yourself, why are you with them? Is it because they're cute? They have a six-pack? I mean, are they like really funny? Well, looks and all that fade.
And I wanted to say, like, something you said a few minutes ago. I think practically, like, if you think about, like, if Tommy was really into, like, basketball when we got married, and I don't like basketball, I don't want to play basketball, and, like, then he sort of just, like, would stop playing basketball more, like, he wouldn't talk about it as much. Like, that's how it is with God. So, like, if you come into the relationship and you are excited about God and you want to talk about him and this and that, but, like, your partner isn't interested, you will slowly, like, give that up. So I have, like, a really good firsthand experience with this, with, like, dating a non-believer. And, you know, in high school and stuff, I was, like, really trying to follow God, and I was, like, you know, they use the word, like, on fire, but I was, like, trying to follow God, and I had this person that was, like, one of my best friends, and ended up, like, years of being friends, and then we decided to date. And, you know, it's funny because I still remember, like, sitting, like, there, and in my head I literally remember God saying, like, not this one, and I just totally ignored it, and I just went after it anyways, of course. And but the thing is that, like, he wasn't really a believer. Like, he, like, believed in God and stuff, but he just, like, wasn't. But I was, and I had all of those values, and I had all of those, like, boundaries and all kinds of things. And, like, make a long story short, that was, like, the hardest struggle, because I wanted to have all these boundaries, and I believed in, like, waiting for marriage and all of these things. And, like, him, like, caring about me and stuff, he wanted to do that too because he cared about me, but him caring about me wasn't enough to keep those boundaries, if that makes sense. Like,
exactly.
So for someone to be able to keep those boundaries with you, like, it's really, really tough, and and you have to have God to do it. Like, it's very
you need
tough.
Supernatural strength.
So, like, that's what I'm trying to say is, like, love's not enough. Like, they have to have God, because otherwise, like, it's not gonna happen. And, you know, like, that relationship blew up in flames.
Totally.
And, like,
and it hurt you.
It hurt me so much, but it's because I was, like, going after somebody who didn't have the same values as me, wasn't pursuing God, didn't believe in the same things as me. I don't even know what I was thinking when you think about all this. Like, what did we have in common? I don't know. But I was telling Tommy earlier, it's funny, like, I remember this conversation, like, before we broke up. The whole reason, like, that started us, like, deciding to break up was we were talking on the phone, and I said something about, well, my children will go to church, like, of course, because Tommy and I were talking about this the other day, and I was like, yeah, of course, if my kids are, like, living in our house, like, they're gonna go to church. And it's funny, like, I talked about that with him, and he was like, well, no, like, I'm not gonna make my kids go to church. And I was like, oh, you know, it's like when reality hits you, you're like, oh, what am I doing? Like, how does this make any sense for, like, the future and the things that I wanted in life? It made no sense. Yeah. And finally, like, at that point, I realized that. But it took, like, all this time of hurt and, like, going through all this stuff for me to get there. So that's why we're making this video, because we don't want you to go through that.
Yeah, and we both went down that same path. In women, you can't change someone. You shouldn't be, like, struggling to try to change someone. And guys as well. Like, that person should be bringing you up and closer to God, and it should be a relationship that's furthering you in your faith, and not something that's, like, a constant battle and stuff. Because, one, why do you even want to deal with that? And two, like, what's the point in that? You know, and here's, like, a tip, okay? If you want to know, well, how do I know if someone's really a Christian? They attend my youth group. You know, they sing, they pray, you know, on the weekends at church. Okay, the biggest way is Jesus says you'll know them by their fruit. And people that are bearing fruit, that are love, they're being patient, they're kind, you know, you could see how they're living during the week. And if that matches with what they are on Sunday in church, then yeah, they're probably, like, most likely a Christian. I mean, you just know, and you'll have a gut feeling, you know.
I heard a pastor actually say, like how you know that, like, someone's like not right for you is if like they don't want to be in the presence of God. So like if they
That's
don't
good.
want to go to church with you, if they don't want to pray, they don't want to do any of those things, like most likely they're not a Christian and they
True.
don't want to be.
True. If there's no spiritual appetite there, right? Because we humans have a physical appetite. So when you're hungry, what do? You go eat, right? So if someone doesn't have that spiritual appetite and you can't see it, and you don't see them reading their Bible, you don't see them praying, you don't see them doing these things, it's not that we're saved by acts, we're saved by grace, by faith alone on Jesus, but you want someone strong in their faith that's growing and could like rub off on you and cause you to grow.
And ultimately, you know, you date to get to marriage, right?
Totally.
We've talked about this in other videos, and so like you don't want to marry a non-believer. Obviously, sometimes that happens. People who get saved after they get married and stuff. But like when you get to that marriage point, you do not want to be unequally yoked. That is just like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. And the thing is, we're not talking about Jesus was a light. Yeah, Jesus hung out with tax collectors and robbers and thieves and all these people. And that's different, being a light to your friends and other people. But we're talking about dating, giving your heart to someone, opening yourself up. Like, and it just changes you, you know? So to sum it all up, should Christians or can Christians date non-Christians? Well, can they? Yeah, you can. But also you could go play on the freeway in front of a semi-truck and you'll see what happens, okay?
That's a good analogy.
Yeah. Should you? Probably not. And the reason why is you put a bad apple with a bunch of good apples, what naturally happens, you know? So if you're dating someone who's not a strong believer, you know, we just, you know, from our personal experiences of heartbreak and our moral boundaries kept being moved around and just, it just felt like, you know, you're like getting closer to God, and then it's like you're in the wilderness for 40 years like Moses, and it's just a waste of time. It's just not worth it. So we say, should you? Probably not. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. This channel is growing. Can you feel it? We can feel it. And Jordan fam, I'll see you later.